In this video, I will be doing a guide on all 6 Easter eggs, that is the main Easter eggs in Cold War Zombies, to help you complete them as easily and as fast as possible with the best updated strategies and personally my favorite things to make your life more easier. Now this isn't going to be a normal guide, I won't be going from step to step, well of course I will, but I will also be telling you how to multitask and complete these Easter eggs in under an hour as fast as possible. And for this video, I specifically went in to get the gameplay and I completed them just below an hour by doing everything that I will be showing you. Now before we fully get into every single Easter egg, there will be a couple of things that I want to tell you from little guides and little tips that will work on every single map. So if you do want to watch that, I definitely recommend sticking around, but if you're not, there are timestamps to every single Easter egg down below in the description or obviously on the bar that you are seeing on the YouTube video. Now there are certain parts where I have this specific Easter egg on a timestamp, but if there's a boss fight that I think I have to explain to you with live gameplay, there is also a timestamp for that, but it's not for every single one, as in my opinion, there's some Easter egg boss fights that are just easily explained in the video itself. So the first thing is, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, that will really help out. This video took me over a week to make, which is definitely not as long as it should have. In my opinion, I could have went into more detail, but also a like would be very much appreciated if this video did help you out in any kind of way. The next thing is, at the start of every single Easter egg, I will have an image of the weapon that I used for spawning in. Most of these Easter eggs are best completed with an actual wonder weapon, but I'll just have the wonder weapon itself and also an image of the actual field upgrades that I recommend for you to use. I will mention that in the Easter egg, but it's just something to note. Also, there are certain Easter egg parts where there's just so many different locations and it's mostly for Outbreak that instead of me going over it in the video because there's just so many possible spawn locations of, let's say, portals, I will have specific links to specific websites that have it all completed in one really nice list, so shout out to them. Definitely be checking them out, and I will be specifically telling you in the actual guide of when to do that, when it is best. Now if you did prefer for me to go over it in the video, I think that would have just been way too much time spent on just a little bit of like, oh, here's the possible spawn location, here's the possible spawn location, whereas I could just easily move on to the next step and explain it to you as best as I can. And also, these guys are mostly for solo. I do have one Easter egg, and that is Forsaken, where I did it with my friends just because Forsaken is such an easy Easter egg, but the other ones I've specifically completed in solo. But again, these will definitely be better and easier to do with a couple of friends. So if you do want to complete this with like people to make your life easier, maybe defeat the bosses or something like that, we do have a Discord which is linked down in the description. 100% check it out. At the beginning of every single Easter egg I will recommend that as well, but just want to mention it off the bat here. There's a specific tab in there where you can look for people, and if you just want to join Discord, you know, why not check it out? I haven't actually shouted it out in a while, but without further ado, let's get right into the machine and start this video. So the first thing is, I spawned in with the M16. You can spawn in with a melee weapon, which will increase the amount of points you receive. And another great thing to do on the machine is running up to the penthouse strategy to get as fast as possible through the rounds. Now I don't really do that myself. I like to just stick and spawn up until round 5, and from there make my way to power and get Pack-a-Punch open, and at the same time potentially, if you would like, completing the dance Easter egg. If you don't know the dance Easter egg, I feel like most of you already know it by now, so I'll just skip over that. If you unlock power on round 5 or 6, a few rounds, 1 or 2, you have to go through, and then a Megaton will spawn. Kill the Megaton with whatever weapon you have, it shouldn't be too difficult, and this Megaton will drop a specific part. Take this part over to Weapons Lab, where you have to insert it into specific machine, which will give you another part. Make your way back to spawn, train zombies around, and go through this door that I'm going through and activate this specific machine. Now what this is you need to unlock the wonder weapon. If you collect a small amount of zombies, if you're playing on solo, outside of the knockdown Toten location where you have to go, you should be able to complete it super fast. If you don't, rinse and repeat the process. Now if you go back and press the exact same button that you activated with, it will blow away the door and allow you to pick up your wonder weapon. Now here is where the multitasking begins. So from here, what I recommend for you to do is run upstairs and suck up this specific part. This is for the gas version of the wonder weapon, which we will be coming back to later. Now what I like to do from here is run all the way back and shoot this specific box, which will give you a flask. Now this flask is also for a specific upgrade of the DIE, which is the ice version. We will be coming back to that. Now find the dark ether portal. It should be located around the map, and you might have already stumbled upon it. You can actually easily find it on your mini map in your top left corner. Now when you go into the dark ether ether, here's where you have to collect 3 parts. Now they are at random order, but I will be calling 1, 2, and 3 just to kind of go through it. The first one will be located where Jug is, above the Gallo wall by, on top of this plane wing. Another one can be located in spawn just below the stairs, and the last one is actually located in the pack-a-punch room at the kind of very back, if you want to say, just straight across it. If you go down from the pack-a-punch machine, walk forwards, and there will be a portal going up. Don't go through it, just pick up the part. Completing this part, it will end up spawning in gas dogs, which I recommend killing most of them, but leave one. Because when you're out of like the dark ether for collecting all of the parts, I recommend running to the Deadshot daiquiri room and placing in that special gas canister you collected earlier that I mentioned. And once you put it in, kill the gas dog beside it and it will suck it up, and now you have completed one of the first steps to getting one of the wonder weapon upgrades later on. Now for this part, you might be able to multitask in the dark ether, but if you can't, just going to mention this Easter egg step now. You do need a megaton to shoot a specific mushroom, which is actually around the area where you pick up the flask. This is the mushroom that I'm showing you. It is beside the quick revive machine, and you need a megaton to shoot it. Now the basic megaton will have the shooting attack, but if you do end up splitting it, one of them will only have this kind of shooting, which I can't really explain, but he just like throws something. Now you need to align yourself so that it hits the tree. It doesn't have to specifically hit the mushroom, but it has to hit the tree. Now this mushroom will end up turning purple, and you will be able to place the flask underneath it, which is actually very close to completing the ice upgrade of the DIE. Now once you are out of the dark ether and you might have been able to multitask with the step that I just mentioned, you can go over back to the pack-a-punch location and build a special part which will now allow you to go into another dark ether portal, which is located in the Speed Cola room. Now Speed Cola room will be very popular for this Easter egg, so just remember Speed Cola room means, you know, the special room. From here, what you need to do when you're in the dark ether is run as I am and pick up this specific diary. From here, you will have to run up to 3 different anomalies, and if you're not looking for the story, you don't have to wait around forever. Now the first anomaly is just literally located by the Speed Cola machine, and you need to walk up to it twice. So activating first anomaly so the little like person spawns in, and then activating it again so that he starts talking. From here, you need to run over to the challenge machine, which is just beside the Speed Cola room, and activate this anomaly similar to last time, pressing once to activate him and then pressing second time so we can start talking. And the last one is actually located back where you first built the special part, and once you do this, you are actually kind of done with this step, so you just have to wait it out in the dark ether. But then again, you might be lucky and end up getting a megaton spawning in, so simply just run over to the mushroom and you might be able to complete that. If you already happen to have the mushroom turn purple and had the flask underneath it, you might be able to pick up the part. Now once the dark ether turns off by itself, run back to where you collected the diary and put in a special password. You don't have to do anything, the computer does it itself, you know, like you just interact with it and it puts in the password. Now here is where we can actually start upgrading our weapons. Now if you go back to where Jug is located, straight across from the Gallo wall by, you can actually put down the gas canister onto the special machine, shoot it or suck it up with the wonder weapon, and you will be able to put on the gas upgrade onto the wonder weapon. Now make your way back to the Speed Cola room and shoot this specific part of this machine, which will allow for it to move up. Now if you do have the flask from the mushroom part of this Easter egg, you can actually just walk over to this part and just simply interact with it similar to as last time, but you don't have to shoot it or anything. And now you can have the ice upgrade and shoot this special part as well. Now we're going to quickly do the fire upgrade. If you make your way back to the specific mushroom tree, you can actually find an anomaly there. Interact with this anomaly and go inside of dark ether. Now prior to this, or even when you're in the dark ether, if you make your way back to the special Gallo like wall by, you can shoot a specific little box. Make sure you're not using the wonder weapon or a ray gun. You need to use an actual real gun. It will end up making this box open up. Now you are allowed to pick up this specific part and make your way into the Deadshot daiquiri room, where there will be like this weird machine. Interact with it and it should kick you out of the dark ether. Make your way back too close to the like knockdown Toten door plus the mushroom tree. We keep like going back and forth to the same locations, but interact with this, it will give you the fire upgrade, and shoot this special part in the Speed Cola room. Now we're gonna go for the last wonder weapon upgrade, which is the Electro Bolt variant. if you call it that. Go to this anomaly below the Pack-a-Punch machine, interact with it, and now you can make your way around the map as fast as possible to collect these special like crystals that you need to suck up. But the best way to multitask with this and complete this as fast as possible, have Stamina Up and PhD Slider. Now PhD Slider isn't essential, but it'll definitely be a huge plus for this. Now these are located in these specific parts that I'm showing you. The first one actually can be sucked up where the Stamina Up machine is if you quickly run up to knock down Toten, suck it up from this location, and once you suck it up, you need to make your way back to the Pack-a-Punch location and shoot this special box. Now another great way of going to the other locations is they will be basically located on the left and right side, and if you have Stamina Up, you should be able to collect the last one in the last seconds of the Dark Ether. I will have this video split up and probably a little bit cut off. I'm not really seeing what's happening right now, but you can actually complete it if you're fast enough. Don't worry if you don't. Once you're kicked out of the Dark Ether, all you need to simply do is go through the round and the anomaly will show up again. Now once you have this completed and all of those specific parts in the Speed Cola room shot, you can now progress with the Easter egg. A special anomaly will show up in the Speed Cola room, well, like outside of it, in between Pack-a-Punch and that. Interact with it and go over to this anomaly, which is just beside the Speed Cola machine. Once it is completed, you will be able to pick up an Ether Wrench. It will just be on the ground, pick it up. Now buy a Semtex or maybe C4, anything that's sticky. Now you need to make your way back to the spawn room. There is a tank inside of the spawn room that will allow you to interact with it because of the Ether Wrench. Just keep on pressing until the interaction stops and a zombie should pop out on the top of the tank. Kill the zombie and throw a Semtex or anything sticky at the top bit, which will make the tank shoot. Now go over to where the tank shot, which is just outside of this Stamina Up room, and pick up this gold bomb. Dogs will spawn in and zombies will start running after you, but then again, if you have Stamina Up fully upgraded, you should be able to outrun them. Go back to the Speed Cola room where you did actually pick up the wrench, put it into the special machine, and now you need a Megaton to spawn in, because you do need to suck in a Megaton that is split into two. Make sure it is split into two inside of the special machine that you were shooting earlier with the wonder weapon. This will be a bit of a challenging thing, but just simply split them, kill zombies, and make them walk underneath it. They'll just get sucked up by themselves. Once you have two Megatons sucked up in, they can be totally different. They won't despawn if you have them up there. Go to the computer where you put the password in earlier and interact with it. After the little interaction you have, Pack-a-Punch room is now super dark. Make your way back to the spawn, knock down Toten area, and there will be a special anomaly you need to interact. Once you interact with this special anomaly, you will be able to pick up a special part, as you can see here, that will take you into the boss fight. Now, don't interact with this if you're unprepared. Buy your perks, Pack-a-Punch your weapons, get your stim shots, your quick revive, self revive, whatever you need. It's not entirely difficult. I won't be showing you an actual guide on how to complete it because it's essentially protect Orlov. There is no timer. He doesn't end up dying. You just simply need to run around and kill the zombies that are around him. It isn't anything challenging, and using a DIE Electro Bolt, which allows you to run super fast around the map if you shoot it with a combination of Speed Cola, you'll be able to complete it super fast. But one thing I will show you is my favorite strategy to get to the exfil chopper to finish this Easter egg. Okay, and I'm going to show you my favorite strategy for getting out of this boss, as this is probably the most challenging bit. So go over to here where I am, like the Pack-a-Punch is there, building thing is there. Now Ravenov is currently talking. I don't have the subtitles on, but I really do recommend having them on, as that does really help out. And just run towards this wall and follow exactly what I do. So once you get out of here, you do have 1.5 minutes to get out, but jumping down here to the Deadshot Daiquiri and using whatever weapon you have, allowing you to run up. Okay, this is happening fast. Just follow my steps. Just run this way. Lightning bolt. Just dodge lightning bolt. I do have a ray gun, which is in a way cheating and making this easier than it should be. But just be careful with the lightning bolts, as they can literally insta down you. And I am taking my time with this. I could have done that super fast, but that's it. You then get over here and you just wait for Big Boy to come down. There's Raptor 1, and this is the D-Machine Easter egg. And if you've done it, if you follow this Easter egg guide in some kind of way, hopefully it did help you out. Ta-da! We just did it. Congratulations. If you for some odd reason decided to follow it while you were doing it. Anyway, let's move on to Firebase Z, baby. Before we start with the Firebase Z Easter egg, first thing I will mention is if you are looking for someone to complete this Easter egg with, if you perhaps don't have anyone, link to our Discord server is down in the description. Definitely be sure to check it out, as there will be 100% people like you looking for help as well. The first thing I recommend for you to do is obviously the weapon that I have displayed. Maybe spawn it with it, maybe don't, it's up to you, but stay maybe in spawn until round 5 to collect a maximum amount of points. But personally, I'm not a huge fan of this. What I like to do is make my way over to the main area of Firebase Z where the chopper is crashed. Here what I like to do is simply collect my points, but also work on getting the wonder weapon. The best way in my opinion to get the wonder weapon in this is not by building it. It is actually by getting it from the reward station. Now the great thing about this is if you do not get the wonder weapon the first time you complete all of the challenges and get your legendary reward, you can actually keep on doing it throughout the Easter egg, as the wonder weapon isn't necessary until later. So I won't go back to this. I'll just tell you straight off the bat, if you're trying to unlock power or anything like that, always be trying to complete the challenges until you get the wonder weapon. Unless you're super unlucky and never get it, then like restart your game. That is the best thing I can tell you. So after getting power fully on, getting all the 3 generators on, I feel like you already know what to do. Make your way over to this specific location and talk to Peck. After Peck has a little bit of an interaction, you can make your way to Ravenov, where you will be able to start the Easter egg. Ravenov is located actually in spawn beside the Pack-a-Punch machine, and he will give you a specific keycard. With this keycard, you have to go up to 3 different cabinets, I want to call them, and you need to collect 3 different kind of canisters that are colored like, I don't know, green, blue, and yellow, I think. The first cabinet is located in this spawn location beside Quick Revive. The next one is actually located in this weird place, which is just to the left when you walk out of the portal coming from spawn. And the last one is located in the Colonel's office, which is just above the Juggernaut machine. And once you have all these 3 canisters, you can make your way over to the hospital, which is just straight from walking out of the actual teleporting machine, and interact with this machine itself. Now when you interact with it, after a little bit of a time, there will be hellhounds that spawn in. Simply run away, kill them, and you can move on. Go back to this machine, interact with it twice until it has a yellow outline around it, and pick up this special machinery. Now make your way over to this specific location, which is just above where Peck is. It is outside of that like special room where you talked to him a while ago, and place it on top of this vent. What this will do is it'll kind of like make Peck inhale a special truth serum, which during this time you just have to wait until he kind of like is done doing his little dance or whatever. If you're not into that story stuff, what I recommend for you to do here is work towards getting the wonder weapon if you still haven't gotten it. So complete your challenges. After the characters have stopped talking, make your way back to Peck. Here you have to interact with him. Again, wait until the characters are done talking, and we get on to the mimic step, which is 100% why you are on this video right now. If you don't know what the mimic step is, make your way to the data center room, which is where one of the generators for power are, and you will be able to interact with this machine, which will give you a special canister where you will have to collect mimics. Now if you haven't done this Easter egg yet, this will be a very annoying Easter egg step if you do not watch this video and listen carefully, because I will explain to you how to 100% complete this the easiest way. Number 1, you can only do this once per round. There are 3 specific locations where the mimics will be spawning. Now the mimics aren't normal, they spawn as little pranks. So you will find salvage, a score streak, anything on the ground, and if you find that and you weren't in that room yet, that's a mimic. Now the reason I say you can only do this once per round is because I found that only once per round do actual mimics spawn in these locations. Now the 3 locations where they can spawn is number 1, Juggernaut room. Anywhere around that area, even if it's outside that location, that can still count. Number 2 is inside of like this weird tunnel area just in between like the jug room and another room that where you collect one of the canisters. And the last one is the bedroom above the Pack-a-Punch machine and spawn. Number 2, use a normal weapon. Don't Pack-a-Punch it. Have a blue, green, purple relic, anything. Do not have a Pack-a-Punch weapon, because I found that I kill my mimics 100% of the time. Number 3, also I forgot to mention, it's not any mimic that spawns in that can be collected. They have to specifically spawn from the certain location that I mentioned. But the next one is, don't shoot their head, shoot their legs, hands, body. but their heads. Their heads is their weak spot and you will get them killed super fast. The best way to collect these mimics is by getting their health down to the smallest amount, because if they have a lot of health, they will not stay in the little canister you walk around with. Now the way I recommend for you to do this step is, number 1, leave a zombie at the very end. If you find a mimic spawning in any of the locations that I mentioned around the area, remember where it spawned. Damage the mimic as much as possible. One thing that I will recommend for you to do is run as far away as possible as you can, because the mimic will always outrun the zombie, and that is when you will be able to damage it the most. Just in case if you don't want to kill the zombie, always recommend leaving one. Damage the mimic as much as you can by shooting the specific parts that I mentioned, definitely not the head. You'll just end up like, people say you corrupt the data, but I don't know how true that is. And once you have the mimic on very little health, make sure it's not the tiniest amount, because you know you might shoot him by accident and kill him. Go back to the location it spawned, place down the canister, run away, and run back again. Mimic will always outrun the zombie. Once it is really close to the trap, activate it by double tapping on a controller, the special interact button, not sure what it is on keyboard, and it'll end up sucking it up. Now the great thing about this is, if you find a mimic in the same location twice on, let's say, 2 out of the 3 rounds, because you need to collect 3 mimics. Remember, it's 3 mimics, and what I recommend for you to do with this step as well is, once you have the mimic collected, you need to go back to the place where you got the canister first. By putting in that canister, you will hear dialogue from a character. Now I don't know their names, and you won't remember their names, but just listen to what Weaver says, so I recommend having subtitles on if you're playing without sound. Once Weaver says that's it, or that's that, this, that means you're making a good step. But if he says look again or anything like that, you might have found an incorrect mimic, or he just spawned out of nowhere, or you just picked up the wrong one. Remember, jug room or outside of the jug room, just like simply outside of like the building itself, spawn or in that tunnel. Sometimes the mimics can actually end up not spawning in the first place, like they're there but they don't pop out. Just look for another one or go to the next round and restart. Now once you have collected all of the mimics, the 3 specific ones, you will get a special floppy disk that you can bring to the place above the special canister you collected earlier. Put it into this machine, and now what you need to do is interact with Peck. Once you interact with Peck, he'll end up closing his blinds, and it'll allow you to interact with this little locker beside him and collect a special part. Also, just behind you, if you go to the like bunker area, you'll be able to pick up a shovel. These 3 parts, the floppy disk, weird like machine thing, and the shovel will come in very handy. The next thing is to complete little objectives. With the use of your shovel, you will need to walk around these specific areas and interact with a dig up area. Don't worry, I will explain to you where these are located. The first one is going to be literally located in that court area, which is just outside of where Peck is located, or that canister you collected. Walk around the edges. There isn't a 100% spawn rate of where this dig up site will be, but it will be around the edges. If you simply walk around slowly, you might get interaction of digging up a specific thing. Once you have the interaction, multiple little canisters will spawn around the area inside of that court location. Now here is the tricky bit. You need to find a specific canister that has white smoke. Now there will be white and black smoke, there will be black smoke, there will be weird crystals with black smoke. Actually all of them have crystals, but I meant like weird shiny stuff. You need to specifically find white smoke. So what I recommend for you to do is multiple times walk around to be 100% sure, because if you do it, you're just gonna have to repeat the step by digging it up and doing it again. But if you got the correct one, you will get a little prompt at the top right corner that you have completed it. The next one is actually going to require you to have the Reiki. This is the only time you ever need a Reiki, even though I do recommend it later for the boss fight and a little holdout area that we will get to. Now once you have the Reiki, you will have to go over to outside of the hospital area. In this little corner is most of the time where it will spawn the dig up area. Just simply walk around the corners and you'll end up finding the dig up spot. Interact with it and it'll spawn a little canister that is a bit scared. It will fly off somewhere. Look where that trail goes and go over to it, but don't walk up close to it. Stay as far as away, and using the special different ability of the Reiki, which is the like weird like twirly thing, shoot it. Just shoot at it, try to align it correctly, walk up to it, and you can pick up the special canister. It's just a bit shy, and if you don't shoot it, it will end up running away. And now time for the last one, which is going to be located at one of the holdout areas, more specifically at the location called Jungle Defense, which is the Juggernog holdout area. Go over to this specific like dent of it and interact with this dig up site. It will always be here. Once you interact with it, you will be in a little holdout area. In solo, it's super easy. Just use your AK or whatever weapon you have, pack a bunch. Oh, just make sure you have a pack a bunch of like perks. Shoot the zombies and you should be able to complete it really fast. Once it's done, you can pick it up and now you should have 3 canisters collected. Once you have all 3 of these canisters, make your way back to every single generator that you activated to get power on and just interact with it, which should put in the specific canisters into specific locations by itself. Now once you have all the canisters in, it will tell you to go inside of this specific location, but it won't work. So from here you need to go over to and talk to Peck. He'll laugh, he'll say, oh blah blah blah, I've pranked you, wah ha 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 ha. And from here you will have to go over to the planning office and interact with this computer. Now when you interact with this computer, you won't be like invisible to zombies, so be very careful, they might end up attacking you. You may be using like ether shroud, it will help you out. Once you interact with this computer, you will have to go over to the question mark. It's a special question mark dot. Now there are multiple dots, so just keep walking around them. One of them will be like Russia, one of them will be US and stuff like that. Just look for the question marks, press on it, shoot a huge laser into the antenna, and from here, if you make your way back into the little portal area where you were earlier, you will activate the cutscene. I don't think there's anything that I have to tell you with the boss fight. The boss fight is just an Orda, which we'll be fighting later. It's nothing too challenging. All you have to do is just use the Reiki, and I recommend a combination of Ring of Fire actually. It does really help out and make this process really easy. Once you do this, you should be able to complete the Easter egg super fast. Be careful for Orda slam and stuff like that and the zombies. Again, it shouldn't be anything too difficult. I did it with like a pack-a-punch Reiki. If you do struggle with it, again, people should be out there to help you out down in the description. Hopefully you do complete the Firebase Easter egg because, you know, that mimic step is a bit annoying. Before we get into the Malware Toten Easter egg guide, if you do want anyone to help you out with this Easter egg, link to our Discord server is down in the description. 100% there will be someone else looking for help if you need it. This is going to be a solo guide, so maybe you'll be able to complete it by yourself. First thing is, when you spawn in, I recommend staying in the starting room till round 5, just because collecting the max amount of points is the best thing to do to open up the rest of the map. Make your way through the map, unlock power, which you should know already if you've played Malware Toten before, but to quickly explain it, kill the 2 tempests that you get across as you make your way over to the power location. Once you put in the special canisters to turn on power, one thing that I will actually recommend for you to do here, what I like to do, is having Ring of Fire and going over to the pack-a-punch machine, which you need to turn on. Now the reason I like to have a combination of whatever weapon I spawn in with, which in this case is the Gallo, is because using Ring of Fire straight away, it is super easy to kill the disciple very fast and just get pack-a-punch open super fast. From here, what I recommend for you to do is put on Brain Rod onto your weapon, which will come in handy. But before you make any progress, the 2 little kind of no man land locations with the towers, the next thing you want to do, because you need to dig up a specific part, which is a little antenna. Now there will be multiple dig up sites, you don't need any shovels, just interact with it until you find it. If you don't find it, you will be just simply getting across just salvage and free ammo, which is always a welcome. And don't worry, 100% one of the dig up sites will have it, because it's the only location you can get the antenna. Once you have the antenna, what I recommend for you to do is go to the hotel room that I'm in, which is just beside, I guess you could say, spawn room, and also beside the stamina machine. What you need to do here is turn a zombie with Brain Rod on your weapon and make it destroy this door. Once the door is destroyed, you can walk in and interact with these hands on the zombie, which will make your character basically take the hands off, and now you have hands to put on Klaus. The next thing is you need to make your way till round 10 to kill a panzer. Always a panzer will spawn around 10 and it will always drop a battery. Once you have the battery obtained, you can now make progress by building Klaus, which is located in the safe house room. Here you need to put Klaus together, just interact with him and he will come to life. You will end up getting a special remote that allows you to control where Klaus goes, and the best way to use this remote is constantly place it on the ground, this little beacon, so he travels with you. Make your way into this specific room and make him interact with this locker by making him go up as close as possible to it, which will give you a black light. What we're going to be now doing is unlocking the wonder weapon, which is an amazing thing to have on this map, and actually unlocking it, it's actually way easier to build this thing, or I guess complete the Easter egg for it, than actually getting it from the challenge station. So once you have this black light, you will need to find specific numbers, but before we do that, make Klaus go over to this wall beside the sewage location where I am at and make him interact with it. What he will do is hit it and destroy the wall. Another thing I will recommend for you to do is constantly have Klaus out if you can. The reason you want to do that is because you need to collect as many kills with him, because he will have to be upgraded later and you need to have at least 50 kills with him. You might hear a little ding sound once you know you have the specific amount, but a great way of doing it is just constantly having him with you. But there's actually a very annoying bug with Klaus that can happen where he is deployed and just stands there and you can't redeploy him or anything like that. If that happens, unfortunately, you need to restart your game. But back to building the wonder weapon, or at least completing the Easter egg, what I like to do from obtaining the black light and interacting Klaus with that wall is making my way to collect specific numbers. Now these numbers are for a safe and there will be 3 of them. The first one that I always interact with is the middle number, so I like to call that number 2, but obviously the number 2 will be a different number. Here are the spots where you can find this specific number: on this wall, or on this wall. I know I'm kind of like just whatever talking about walls, but there's 3 different walls, and remember the number or write it down somewhere just so you know this is the middle one. Next one will be actually the 3rd number or the last one, and that is going to be located in the shop. The possible locations are on 2 different walls and also on a shelf where you know like food is or something. Now this will be the last number, so you already have number 2 and number 3, and now we will be making our way to get number 1. Now in this specific room where I am finding it, there are 3 different locations, 2 on a wall and 1 on a blackboard like I am showing you right now. But good thing is you can actually interact with the upgrade station for Klaus and place down the antenna you picked up earlier, which is just right here. Just place it down, it will come in handy later. From here, make your way back to where you ripped off the hands off of the dead corpse and interact with this safe. Put in the specific codes, it can be a bit difficult, but the great thing with this is zombies won't attack you, so you have plenty of time, and if you got it correctly, you will unlock the wonder weapon. From here, you will have to get the specific laser variant of the wonder weapon, but a great thing to do before you unlock it or collect it off of a zombie, because that's the only way of getting it, by killing zombies, it will drop randomly, is building a specific thing for Klaus. So I will walk you through the 3 locations that you need to go to shoot with the wonder weapon specifically. Doesn't matter if you have like the explosive variant or the laser one. The first one is actually going to be in spawn, which you can make your way to straight after obtaining the wonder weapon, and it is going to be this antenna. Shoot it and you can pick it up. The next one is going to be located just below the spawn room. It is going to be in this little shop where there's a bunch of electronics. It can be 2 different radios, or I do believe it's 3, but these 2 are the most likeliest to spawn it in. Just shoot it with the wonder weapon and it has a very high possibility of dropping the specific thing you are looking for. And the last one is going to be 100% spawn rate. There isn't any randomization to it. It is going to be this thing in the railway tracks, which I do recommend being very careful for, but it's going to be this, shooting it, it will drop the part and you will be able to make progress. From here, if you do end up getting the laser version of the wonder weapon, go back to that wall that Klaus destroyed and shoot it until it melts. From here, if you make your way into the secret room that now you have discovered, the round should end and make it be a dog round. Go through the dog round, and after it, these special little things that are covered in a really weird, just like protective red thing will be unlocked. And now what this will allow you to do is shoot this little canister thing and get a little thing from Firebase Z. If you have watched my Firebase Z guide, you know what this is, but thankfully you don't have to capture any mimics with it. You just simply need to find different special canisters you will have to interact with, but before you do, you need to collect the 3 canisters that you need to put into those canisters to then interact with. It's a bit confusing, but let me explain. So pick up the 3 canisters, and now you need to run around the map and look for these specific machines. Now this is where the first thing that I mentioned at the beginning of this video will come in useful. I will link a guide down below that will tell you every single possible spawn location. It isn't many, but I still feel like it will be better if you go there to complete this really fast. Now there will be 3 of them because there are the 3 canisters, so you simply need to walk over, put in the canister, throw down the mimic trap, as I will call it. It will spawn in 3 tempests. Now what you need to do is simply kill the 3 tempests, which will bring over souls to the specific canisters, and then it will allow you to pick it up and make your way back to where you first got the canister. It's a bit of running back and forth 3 times, but once you have that completed, you can now make more progression on the Easter egg. What I like to do now is trying to get Klaus fully upgraded, so multitasking up until here. You might have already gotten the kills, and if you haven't with him, just keep getting kills and then make your way over to the upgrade station and make him interact with it. So similar as to last time with the wall and the little cabinet thing, just make him walk up to it and go inside of it. Now this will activate a little bit of a lockdown, so a bunch of zombies will be coming at you, a bunch of disciples powering up zombies. Definitely recommend using the wonder weapon, but but a great thing to use here is actually toxic growth, as it just stops the zombies from getting to him and damaging him, because that's the main thing they will be doing. Once Klaus is fully upgraded, he will be shiny gold, and from here what you need to do is put on the special parts that you collected earlier from the antenna, the radio, and other things. You could have done this prior, but I like to do it around now. So you need to wait until he turns off and then go to the specific location he's chilling at and sitting all the time and simply interact with him. Now there will be a buy option or build option, so do the build option first. Once you have him built, make your way back to the special place where you got the LED light, but instead go over to the train tracks, and straight across from the mule kick machine there is a railway track, but then to the left of that there's another railway track, and make him go over to that one. As I do on this video, he will do a little special animation that will essentially make him walk up and do a bit of a stance that looks like he's about to stop something. Make your way back to the LED room where you collected the LED and interact with this button. What it does is it shoots a train down towards Klaus and he essentially stops it. From here, quickly run inside of the train. There will be zombies in there. Kill all of them. Pick up these two things, the keycard and the special canister. There's also intel in there if you want to find it. Not essential. If you're in there for too long, don't worry. If the train moves on, it will just essentially teleport you back. You don't die. From here, Klaus is no longer useful for us. He can just be a little companion that can help you around. What I like to do now is go over to the special computer in the place where you actually build Klaus and interact with this computer. You can listen to the audio or you can skip through it as fast as possible. Once you have completed all of the interactions possible, make your way up through the zip line and it'll spawn in high value targets, which are essentially megatons and mimics, which are super strong. Kill the mimics and kill the megatons. Once you kill the megatons, they will drop uranium. When you pick up this uranium, it'll start damaging you, but you need to simply walk over to the crafting table that is super near and essentially change it into a little bit of a different thing that will also damage you, but you need to do this with the 2 uraniums that drop from the split high value target megatons, and make your way over to this specific zip line. On both of the sides, like I am doing, on the left side and on the right side, put down the canisters. It is timed, but it is plenty of time to do everything. Don't worry. If you are worried, definitely use a stim shot. Take care of the zombies around you. Take your time. It's not too hard. Once you have this done, they will bash together and create some other uranium. I think it's a cleansed uranium. What you need to do with this is pick it up. No longer time. Don't worry. Go back to that secret room and you will have to put into those 3 canisters that you found last time that you put back as well. But this time you also have to put in that special canister you found on the train, which you could have put in earlier, but I like to do it around this time because it's just more convenient instead of running back and forth. Now, once you have that done, you will have to wait until the next round. If you've already done this on the next round, then you should be able to activate another computer. Interact with this specific one that I'm at, which is near the crafting table you should have used earlier, and now it will activate a similar laser which will spawn in high value targets, but at spawn. I don't recommend running over to spawn. What I recommend for you to do is sit down in this area that I am at, which is just below the spawn location, because there's another crafting table here which will allow you to kill the high value targets, the megatons. Do the exact same thing. Go over, rinse and repeat the same process by bashing together the uranium and create the cleansed uranium. But one thing I will say is this is the last thing. So once you deliver this last uranium, you start the boss fight. So prepare, be ready. And the rest of this Easter egg guide is going to be live gameplay of me showing you how to defeat the boss fight as fast as possible and as simple and easy as possible in solo and even with people. Okay, and now we're gonna take over and show you the best strategies and things to do in the boss fight. The boss fight itself is a bit challenging, but once you have the last piece of cleansed uranium, all you have to do is just deliver it like I just did here. Now, just to quickly go over what I have is Pack-a-Punch level 2 wonder weapon, which isn't 3, which is, you know, a bad thing. If you can possibly get a level 3, that would be the best thing. Also, this is the first arena. You will be running around the whole map, so having stamina up and also PhD slider is the best because you'll be able to get around super fast. Also, having a slight bit of collection of points will be good because if you go down, you will be able to quickly go and purchase your perks. Also, having some salvage is really good. On top of that, I have stim shots, Ring of Fire, and also 5 Semtexes, which will all come in handy. And also Dr. Valentina is currently covering up, but I have a death machine which will just come in to rescue me later. But this is basically the boss fight, and the first thing you have to wait is just to get through this pointless conversation. Well, not pointless. If you're interested in the story, it's not. But the first thing is she has a like sphere around her. What you can simply do is using the wonder weapon, which I mainly recommend because it is extremely powerful, break the orb and just keep on shooting her. Now she has a collection of different attacks. She can sometimes heal. She can sometimes shoot you with this like weird crystal, yellow crystal shot thing that can take you down very fast. But this first stage isn't really hard because, oh, there it is. There's the yellow crystals. All I have to do is just run behind something and wait it out. There's some epic music playing in the background. I'm pretty sure you can't hear because my game is super quiet for you, but you know, you have an epic tune to get you through it. Just keep on shooting her. You can use Ring of Fire here if you want to, but I kind of like to, well, save Ring of Fire in case of emergencies. Another one is coming up, and that's kind of all you have to do is just keep hiding. This one shouldn't be too difficult. I am on round 24, and I am slowly starting to run out of ammo, but I think I can purchase it somewhere around here. That's why also having a collection of points is very good. Oh, and I ran out of ammo. Well, that's great. I could use Ring of Fire here and just get through this stage super fast, which is something a lot of people like to do. But personally, I just, as I said, like to save it for one of the emergencies that might happen later. You never know what can end up coming up. Oh, and once you get this kind of weird orb around her, that's when you know that you have to move on. Now, I don't know where she's gonna go, but you can just run out. You can see she has like a quarter of the health down. I'm gonna go up and, oh, well, I just ended up being in her next region. So unfortunately, I think I can actually zip line up and go buy perks if I would have to, but this is one of the second locations, and in this one what I recommend for you to do is simply run around, and whenever you think you have enough time, go at her and start shooting her. Now I'm missing armor, so hopefully I don't end up dying. She's using her super laser attack. We also have a panzer. There's a lot of things happening, but if you take your time, don't rush it. You can just simply run around and complete it. Just take your time, relax, and don't stress too hard. Just like every single boss fight on this game, it just requires a bit of patience instead of full-on skill, and it's not timed, which is a great thing. So even if you take forever, it won't really matter. And this is the like healing phase, so if she randomly gets this like orb thing and you don't feel like you've made progression, that's when you know she's gonna start healing. So just look around her, and her like zombie things that she's gonna start sucking up for health should spawn around her, and that should be a clear sign that it's time to just concentrate on that so she doesn't regen too much. Now, I don't really recommend using variants of a wonder weapon, for example. Now, I don't really recommend using a different variant of this wonder weapon, only the basic one, but if you get your hands on this explosive one, this is definitely one that you should be maybe on the lookout, because it deals way more damage than the basic one. As you can see, I'm dealing 1,900 damage with the explosives. I think from my tests that I've done in the past, and I don't think it has changed, this is the only one that deals way more damage than the basic version. Now, the basic one for me dealt 1,500, so that's a pretty, like, it's a 400 nearly, like, damage boost that I'm dealing on her now, which is definitely speeding this up a tiny bit more. And you can pick up ammo multiple times, so you don't really run out of it. But if you do, don't worry. Again, as I said, the basic one is just as good because the fire rate is way faster, so that's why the basic one is the best. Oh, I think okay. Well, there we go. Perfect. So I've made more progress, and now I could, for example, go buy myself armor, which I really do need, and maybe even ammo, but I don't really mind not having it. So she is in the third phase. So we were at the main boss arena, then we were in there. This is the third phase, and the fourth phase will be up there, which is going to be next, and the last phase is going to be back in the boss fight. So let's get right into it. Oh, perfect. She's doing her insta-kill attack. When you see this around you, just simply go behind something and hide behind it. Now, it can be a bit worrying because zombies can start like storming you and stuff like that. So remember, you do have the war machine or death machine, whatever it's called. Oh, it's a war machine. And that should get you out of it if you have PhD slider, because it will protect you from the explosions at the same time, and, well, the main explosion that she does as well. I ended up using actually my Ring of Fire just to get through this phase super fast. It was really just like a few seconds and I got through it. Now we are going upstairs, but before we do, I actually want to buy ammo because I was slightly low. I could pick it up from, you know, like the zombies that do drop ammo, but I prefer just being safer than sorry, if anything. On this phase, she's just sitting in this corner, and you can, well, you know, start shooting her. Well, for me anyway. She didn't have the orb around her. She's doing her insta-kill attack, so just hide. These are the only two phases that I think happens. The previous one and this one is the only time she will ever do these insta-kill attacks, unless maybe in the last phase. But definitely in the more open areas, they definitely don't do it because Treyarch isn't that mean. They want you to complete this boss fight, not insta-die all this time. And now I am moving on to the last phase, which is going to be back in the area where we first started to fight her. Now again, this boss fight isn't very difficult, and I know a lot of people do struggle with it, similar to the Legion boss fight 1, but if you just take your time, just be patient, you won't go down. And if you do end up going down, the best recommendation I have is just try to run around as much as you can, just so you can wait until, well, she does this where she teleports to her next region where you have to battle her, and you know, you should get through it super easy. Have enough salvage, have enough of that. Oh, actually, speaking of salvage, I need to purchase myself some armor. My favorite thing to do with this last phase is activating Ring of Fire, so I'm gonna destroy that. Oh, well, she did it for me. And just start holding down the trigger until her health is fully down. The zombies around you should die in your Ring of Fire if you have it fully upgraded. But as you can see, look, and the boss fight's done. Just as easy as that. Last phase is my favorite to use the Ring of Fire. And she's gonna be napping on the ground. And the last thing that's left in this boss fight that I won't show you is you're just gonna have to deliver a bomb through like a little phase weird thing. You shouldn't go down, don't worry about it. Just take your time with it. You're not gonna be actually carrying the bomb. It's going to be Klaus. A bit of a spoiler, but just deliver him into that region and you shouldn't struggle. I should be having gameplay up for you right now just because I think it'll be easier while I'm talking to you live, and you should just deliver it, and that's the Easter egg complete. I think I'm well, first of all, you have to actually press square on her, but yeah, no, nothing too difficult, nothing too easy at the same time. It's in the middle and you should be able to do it super fast. And now moving on to the last normal round-based map Easter egg, which is Forsaken. Spawning into Forsaken, it is a bit different. What you'll have to do is activate a portal, and the rounds do kind of go around different, but we're just gonna skip over the basic stuff. Open up Pack-a-Punch. If you don't know how to open a Pack-a-Punch, make your way through the map, collect 4 special parts, build a portal, kill the 3-headed dude, make your way into the Pack-a-Punch room, and once you're in there, it is obviously timed, like you do end up taking damage, but once you have power on, make your way over to this button. Something I forgot to mention is if you are looking at people to help you out with this Easter egg, link is down in the description to our Discord server. Definitely people may be looking to help you out or even looking for help for Forsaken. But once you press this button, you will have a cutscene activated, as you can see. You just have to listen to it, watch it, or skip it, whatever you want to do it. But once you have that done, now if you go back to the like area where you killed the 3-headed dog dude, it's all bluish and weird because Forsaken is here, the big dude. Now here is the thing you need to do. You need to get the wonder weapon. Building it is a no. I really don't recommend building it. What I recommend for you to do is completing the challenges. It'll be way faster and make your way through them. Now during this time, you can actually multitask. What you can do is, if you are playing with people, this is actually one of the steps that you do need to know if you are playing with multiple people. If you make your way to the first portal area, which is located in the fuel processing area of the map, which is just beside the Burger Town location, you will have to interact with a specific thing which will activate a lockdown mission thingy that you'll have to do. It's not timed, but you just have to wait until specific fuel charges up so you can get a part. But if you are playing with people, all of the people have to be at one of the 4 different canister things. If you're playing with 3 people go to, well, 3 out of the 4, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. They need to press it at the same time. Obviously, if you're like 1 second off, it won't really matter. But once you activate this, go through the lockdown, you get like a little ball thing. Pick it up and you'll be able to make progress if you still don't have the wonder weapon. Now, if you do have the wonder weapon, what you need to do is find 3 crystals around the map. They're huge crystals. The first one will be down in that like weird place where you kill the 3-headed abomination creature thing. The next one will be in spawn, and the last one is located above the quick revive machine or in the place you have to make your way through once you turn on power. Now what you need to do with this is, using the gun version of the wonder weapon, you have to shoot these 3 orbs that circle around these crystals. Now the best way to go about this is get the orb that is the furthest away from the crystal, because that circulates it at the widest like thing. I guess that's the best way to explain it. The reason you go for that one is because if you don't go for it first and go for it last, it will be the fastest one. So the first one you destroy is the slowest, and it gets a bit faster, then a bit faster. So what I recommend for you to do is go from outside to inside. The inside one will be circulating it at a very small range, so you'll be able to destroy it super fast. remember, use the shooting version of the wonder weapon. Now you need to switch it to the axe version of the wonder weapon and destroy it with the axe. Destroy the crystal. That's it. From this, an abomination 3-headed dude should spawn in, and you will be able to pick up a specific gold legendary version of a crystal. With this, you need to throw this crystal at an open mouth of the abomination. Doesn't have to be specifically at the mouth, but the abomination has to have one of the mouths open. Sometimes he can have them closed, sometimes he can be roaring, sometimes they can be open 1 or 2, or sometimes he can be shooting a laser. Make sure he's chilling or roaring and it should work. He eats it, his tail turns red. This is the time when you have to kill an abomination. Now you have to do this 3 times, but remember, one of the 3 times, what I recommend for you to do is make your way back to that place where you first killed the abomination, and more specifically into the room where the Wonder Fizz machine is located, and you'll have to make it bash into this special wall. Now he does have like a special running ability, laser ability, and roaring ability, and obviously just normal hitting you with his tail and stuff like that, but he'll need to bash into it. So go as far away as possible and run up to the wall, and over time he should do the animation, which will allow for a specific part to fall down. Now if you do collect all of the 3 crystals, which is the only time you can actually collect them after completing the fuel up step of this Easter egg, so remember, first complete that fuel up step that I told you about earlier, and only then you can collect the red crystals from the abominations. You have that step completed, and hopefully that bashing of the wall step completed as well. There's only literally one thing left to do, and that is you need to travel with like an RCXD through a bit of a challenging step. Let me explain. Purchase an RCXD from the crafting table, or maybe you might have gotten it from the box or something. I recommend for you to put on a normal weapon, dead wire. The reason you need dead wire is because now you need to make your way to the arcade machine location, like where the arcades are located, and shoot a zombie with the weapon that has dead wire, because it should activate a specific dead wire ability around this arcade machine. Now this activates the arcade machine after it's electrocuted, and now you can interact with it, purchasing it for 2,000 points, and it should use an RCXD. I don't know if it uses your one or any, but you will have an unlimited amount as long as you have 2,000 points. Here you'll have to travel your way to the television store, which is just located across. It is an annoying process because you do give off a bit of like an explosive effect, which does end up having a thing. If you're too close to a zombie, you'll blow up. Just have a really large amount of points and rinse and repeat process, but follow this specific route that I am going through and explode behind this wall. This will allow you to collect the last part you need, and that is the television. Now you can make your way to the boss fight. Yep, it's this easy. Forsaken is super fast and simple. Make your way to the main area, like the main first teleporting area you get to through the spawn location, and build it at this crafting table. To better explain it, it is by the upgrade station and also the tombstone machine. Once you have this done, you have to wait a tiny bit until it's fully charged up, but once it is, activating it will give off a little kind of like transport mission that you'll have to do. Now the thing with this is you need to be inside of the orb for the transport to move, but also there will be orange crystals on your way through that you will need to charge up the weird like machine thing that you're moving across with those specific crystals. So you go up to a crystal, destroy it, it will give off like, I don't know, this thing that you need to bring over and fuel it up. There will be 100% enough crystals around the area that will be enough to charge it up. Just keep on running out, running back in. You shouldn't die. The zombies aren't too insane or anything like that, even with people, and it isn't super difficult. Have stamina up, maybe PhD slider, maybe jug, stim shots, and this will be easy peasy. If you have this completed, you are literally just on the edge of completing this Easter egg. There's nothing that I have to explain to you with the boss fight. It's super easy. If you're fully ready, don't worry, they'll give you a pack-a-punch machine, upgrade station, crafting table, and also a Wonder Fizz. Get ready, and now it is time for the boss fight. In this boss fight, all that you'll need to do is repeat the same thing like 3 times. First thing is, you come in, big Forsaken dude, lot of zombies, and Samantha. I'll split this up into 3 things. Number 1, you need to damage the shoulders first off of Forsaken fully. I recommend doing it fully because you break them off and they're like weak and stuff. Then, underneath Samantha, she has like a ring of fire effect. That's where you need to kill zombies to charge her up. Wherever she is, just do it. Then she will charge up one of the huge turrets. Once she has that done, once you fully charge her up, she'll tell you, oh, I've charged up this turret. Go up to it and shoot one part of Forsaken, so one shoulder at a time. You need to do this 2 times. 2 shoulders destroyed, health is down. Now you need to shoot his stomach. Shoot the stomach, same thing. Charge up Samantha, shoot with turret. Now the head. Shoot, turret, dead. Easter egg complete. There will be a little cutscene in between, but that's it. Literally complete. You're done. Round base maps complete. Good luck. And now it is time for Outbreak. First thing I will say is this is Outbreak Easter egg part 1. If you need any help with this, which you might, 100% check out our Discord server, link is down in the description. There will be definitely people looking for help just like you, or anyone looking for help, 100% recommended. So the first thing is you need to get to round 3 in Outbreak, but prior to that, I 100% recommend for you to complete every single quest that's on the map, including the main one obviously, because you need to get to Outbreak Region 3 somehow, because you need to have your weapon fully upgraded. The weapon that you need for this, you need this weapon, AMP-63. If you don't have it unlocked, if you don't have it upgraded, go and do that now. Unlock it, easy challenge. I'll have a guide out there down below if you want to check it out, and I will also have the specific attachments that I have on it because it's super important. This is the main thing you concentrate on. Complete every quest to pack a punch, complete every quest and everything possible to upgrade it. Literally everything. Have this bad boy gold, legendary, fully pack a punch, doesn't matter what ammo mod you use, but have that ready. Also, for the boss fight, death perception, juggernaut, speed cola, quick revive, stamina up are super important. So when you're on Outbreak Region 3, you will need to find the specific radios that are on that map. I won't be telling you all the locations because there's so many different maps, so many different radio locations. Literally each radio has 3 different locations, including the main one. So this is where the website comes in handy. Check it down below. It has everything you need to look for, including Outbreak Easter part 2, but I'll mention that later as well. Once you have this completed, you will get a special part that now you need to complete all of the quests 100% again, similar how you did last time, because you need those points. You even need those points even if you're already ready. You need them because there's a small chance you'll go down in the silos. Now at the area where you move on, you'll have to interact with this little icon, this like phone thingy. Interact with it, Samantha will start talking, whatever, teleport to region 4. Here is another part where the website will come in handy, because now you need to find monkeys, and there are 4 different monkeys on each map, and there's a chance that one of those monkeys will drop you what you need, but also on top of those monkeys there will be theater locations where you have to bring over that special part to the theater, interact with that theater multiple times, go through the thing, then she says go to Ruka, go to the teleporting area and move on. Websites down below, definitely a huge help for this part. There's no need for me to go over in this super long video over that. 100% check them out. Once you're in Ruka, you'll have to move over to the silos, but before you do that, complete all the quests as you'll definitely need that. And what I'll do now is I'll leave you off through the guide on silos, the best things to do, and also how to defeat Legion. Good luck. This is probably the most hardest one. 100% look out for people. Don't go in with wonder weapons, and the AMP-63s are best. Okay, so this is the silo part of the guide. The reason I'm showing you this is because the amount of times I've done the Outbreak Easter egg is ridiculous. If you don't know, I've tested out multiple weapons in the past on the YouTube channel, and I kind of want to show you my favorite strategy for running around in the silo to make your experience as easy as possible. Now, it's not as difficult as it used to be, but there's ways of making it easier. So as you see, straight away when I jump out of the elevator, I go up and I run through the main area. I think I have to run over to A, and simply just I like to jump down, glide, and go into the cutscene like that. I know that this was a terrible explanation, but if you follow what I just did there, you can get there in absolutely seconds. Now I'm gonna let the cutscene play out, and I will be back to you whenever it is over. Okay, what you should be spawning into straight away is the B silo. If you have stamina up upgrade, you could just simply jump down, and if you run around this corner, the first part of what you have to do will be here, which is the harvesting thing. Now for this, what I like to do is just first simply fill it up. So you have to just run around, collect the ether crystals, gather them, go up, fill them up and stuff like that. Once you have that done, well, once even I have that done, I will be back to you to show you what I like to do with those harvested crystals in that powered up thing, as there's actually a really great way of multitasking with it to get the other keys and just complete silos as fast as possible. Also, something I forgot to mention is I like to change my field upgrade to Ether Shroud straight when you spawn into the 5th region. The reason for that is because if you're not using Ether Shroud all the time, it will actually benefit you in the actual boss fight that I will be showing you later. And even in this scenario, you might get stuck somewhere in the silos, and honestly the silos aren't a place you want to go down because like you're just around the corner to the boss. Okay, I actually end up going down, but once you get your Ethereum crystal, you can use it whenever you want. I recommend saving one because we will be using one of them inside of this main area. If you don't know, there's like a bunch of mimics that spawn in here. So what I like to do is just run around as fast as I can to spawn in as many of them as possible, and using just your gun, if you're using the AMPs, which I just heavily recommend because they're the best thing to use for this, with a combination of the AMPs and also the shock blast, this should not be very difficult. As you can see, there is quite a lot of them, and wabam, took a lot of damage, and I'm just gonna simply shoot through them. Definitely don't use one of your crystal things, because you will need it for the specific key that the ether crystal is necessary for. If you use it up, you're just gonna have to refill it, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Now, I did use one of my blasts already, but it was just to save myself. This should have been easier. But yeah, that's all you have to do. Like, it's nothing too big, but it's something I felt like mentioning, and I am kind of annoyed because I did end up going down. That was not supposed to happen. It was a bit of an intense one. But then what I'd like to do is straight away go for C, pick up the key, and then kill the red mimic, which is just a high value, whatever, the HVT, high value target, I think that's their name actually. And now I'm going to go get the jellyfish key, which the jellyfish is here. If you simply walk up to it, use the blast, it'll just float you up easily. Just stick to the bar thing over there. Now, as you're flying over through it, just start spamming your interact button. For example, on the PS4, PS5, it is the square button, and on the Xbox, it will be the X button, I'm pretty sure, yeah, because B is the red one. And see, there I spammed, and now I have 2 out of 3 keys. And now to the monkey one, which is another one that I feel like knowing the strategy for the monkey step, it'll make your life so much easier. Okay, and now onto the monkey step. You have to go to the A silo and walk inside of this like entrance circle area. It's like the only one in here. And now you have to look around for the monkey. Now, an easy way of spotting the monkey is it will be just like this glowing blue thing. If you simply run around with stamina up and maybe even PhD slider like I do, you will be able to get around super fast, not to get killed by zombies. You can also hear the monkey, so that's one thing that you can also do. I can actually hear it. Maybe it's up here. Oh, there it is. Now what you do is throw over the machine and just run away. And using subtitles, the machine itself will tell you, oh, there you go, target and rage, and you can use the trap. So a lot of people tend to stick around the monkey close, and the monkey runs and hides. All you have to do is that. You just throw it down and run as far as possible. It'll tell you when to do it. And I have all 3 keys now. Once you have the 3 keys, what I recommend for you to do is look around first where you have to press them in what order. So for me, if you go over to that machine, it is saying that the first one is green, so A is first and B is last. So the order will be A, D, B, because C is like a locked door, so that's an easy way of finding it out. Then what you can do is go into the middle, figure out where's what. So D is second, so you'll run out of A, straight into D, and then straight across to B. Now, first of all, before you continue, is ready up, essentially. That's what I like to call it. Go around, buy your perks if you've downed like I have. I already actually bought the necessary ones, Death Perception being the main, and obviously like Quick Revive and Jug. But also if you need armor, which I do, so I'm going to have to run around and try to purchase the armor. Now, Ether Shroud will become very necessary and useful in this scenario because it'll allow you to protect yourself. But also what I recommend for you to purchase is stem shots. Purchasing stim shots would allow you to get your health back while doing the boss fight itself, which I really like to do because there are some sticky situations and scenarios where you will need it a lot. There we go. Oh no, I cannot buy one more. I will buy that later. And for this step to work as easy as possible, a combination of stamina up and PhD slider makes this so easy, because if you don't know, this is timed. So I'm gonna press A. Now I have to run all the way over to D, which is super close, but then from D to B it will be a bit of a pain. So as you can see, stamina up, I'm super fast, but guess what, PhD slider just makes me even faster. But don't worry, you should definitely be like on the last few seconds just to get the key. If you fail, don't worry, just restart, do it again, it'll be the same layout. As you can see, oh, now it's counting down and I'm at the last stage that I have to do it. So yep, there we go. And we did it. Now what you have to do is run upstairs to the boss fight. So let's get right into the boss fight itself. I said boss fight so many times. Let's say it again. Boss fight. Let's go. Okay, boss fight time. So for this, what I recommend for you to do is simply use the Doom and Gloom, aka AMP63's Triple Pack a Punch and Gold Rarity. Doesn't matter what ammo mod you have. It is your best friend for this scenario. Nothing else. No wonder weapons. Nothing like that. And straight away when he spawns, just shoot as long as you can. Keep an eye on your minimap, because of the use of not only these amazing pistols, but also death perception. It will allow you to deal as much damage to this armor stage as possible, and a great way of knowing that you're making good progress is if he teleports to one of the corners. So this is the edge, I like to call that. There's like this cross in the middle that he'll teleport to. It's basically the part that's not covered in purple. And the reason you want to also use the AMP-63s for this boss fight is because from doing tests in the past, is he actually, oh no, he's still on the edges, I found out that using wonder weapons, it spawns in a lot of bosses around the area. So using these pistols, for some odd reason, the game just makes your life more easier, if that makes sense. Now don't worry about your time, you have 9 minutes to complete this, which is plenty of time. And oh, there we go, he's teleported to one of the corners, so his chest should break. And I like to concentrate on the left orb, so instantly when it comes out, come as close as possible and just blast it. Don't worry about, oh my god, well, we're gonna and we ended up going down. Well, that's great for this guide itself. Let's hope we still get to complete this without the death perception and everything else. See, if you have mimics, they can be very annoying and mess everything up, so do be careful for like, you know, the mimics and stuff. That is a bit of an embarrassing thing that just happened there. But his orb is coming out. It should break very easily. There we go. First orb is down. And if this does happen to you like it has to me, I guess this is a perfect example of stay calm. Don't worry. If you fail, then unfortunately you fail. But rinsing and repeating and maybe playing with friends, you should get it done. If you have death perception, this would have been slightly easier. And at least I have stamina up, you know, that's a good one to have. Okay, there we go, his orb is gone. I'm going to activate my ether shroud just to make my life easier so we don't get sucked up again. And I'm going to concentrate on the highest orb right now. Come on, we should be able to get it. There we go. Okay, whew. Just one more and then the Easter egg is complete. It's the same process, just rinse and repeat. If you run out of ammo, like I actually had a situation there, don't panic again. If you have any lethals, anything like that, use that. Oh my god, this is this is tense, I'll be honest. Don't worry, it's not always like this, especially with the AMPs. Okay, there we go. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the orb because I am a very well, I don't have Ethereum, or no, Ether Shroud, sorry, I'm not thinking. It's a bit tense, but we might be, there we go. Now, one thing I will say is, this shouldn't be this difficult. Trust me, I know this is a terrible example, but I guess this is also a perfect example of showing that even if it's difficult, just keep running around, concentrate on the zombies, ignore Legion. Concentrate on the zombies. They will be the thing that will be giving you like your power-ups, they'll be giving you your drops, they'll be giving you your health, they'll be giving you your ammo, they'll be also giving you progression towards Ether Shroud progression. As you saw, I was kind of like jumbling my words there because it was a bit tense. That was probably one of the most tense ones. I am a bit rusty, but if you want help, again, Discord server down below. Definitely with people, using Ether Shroud will make it so much easier. And now on to the last Easter egg, that being Outbreak Easter egg part 2. So for this one, what weapon I recommend for you to spawn in with is the Gallo. I will have the Gallo attachments down below. The reason for this is because you're just going to be simply fighting Orda at the very end. And Orda isn't anything difficult to destroy, but shotguns are the best things to use on him. So the first thing is you need to get to Outbreak Region 3. It's not too insane to complete all quests, but definitely Outbreak Region 3. I will have the websites with special red portals that you need to find. Now, once you find these red portals through the websites, or you might already know those locations, you will have to fly through them 4 times, I do believe. Now they are a bit difficult to find, so definitely take your time. Once you go in, you have to wait a bit, spits you out in the sky, and you need to go through another portal. Then again, wait, spits you out again somewhere else, find another red portal, and then for the last time, spits you out again, find the red portal, and after it spits you out, you will get a special part that you'll need to put into that teleporting like machine thing at the very end. And once you do that, you will interact with the phone before you teleport. Make sure to interact with that special phone. Once you do this, you'll be teleported to Sanatorium, which is the place where you'll be for the rest of this Easter egg. Once you get here, what you'll have to do is find this chopper. It is always located in this area on the map, and once you find it, interact with it or walk over to it. You'll hear Ravenov talking. Now you have to do a little lockdown mission. Now this isn't anything timed or anything, you'll just have to kill the zombies around the area. Once that's completed, you'll need to interact with the little radio. You can listen to it or just run off, because after they're done talking, you'll have to find this kind of weird glowing gas thing. I don't know how to explain it, but there are 3 different different locations it can spawn. It can spawn on top of this building, which is where the crafting table is. It can spawn beside the pack-a-punch machine. And last place is this weird like building. I don't know how to explain it. It's just on top of the roof. I had it actually on top of the building. So what you have to do from here is shoot it towards the bridge. There's a bridge which has a rover on it. So what you have to do is shoot at an angle that will be aiming towards that bridge, because once you shoot it, follow it. It'll start flying towards the location, not all the way towards that bridge. Once it flies to the other location, shoot it more towards the bridge until it makes it all the way over there. Once you're there, they'll start talking again, the characters, and you'll have to find a teddy bear at a box location. Now there's 3 box locations. One of the locations is at the marketplace, another one is on top of the big sanatorium building, and the last one is just beside the sanatorium building right here. Now I had mine at the marketplace, and once you find it, what you have to do is interact with it. It will be like this broken box with a teddy bear in it. Interact with it and it'll basically give you a bit of a lockdown again. Just teddy bear will start dancing, kill the zombies around it. Once he's done that, you can pick up the teddy bear plus some intel. Once you pick up the teddy bear, make your way back to the rover, put it in, interact with it. After they're done talking, spits out a radio, interact with the radio, and now you have to transport the rover over to a specific location. What you'll have to do here is protect it. It's nothing too crazy, too difficult, but it can be challenging sometimes with the Tempest. They slow it down, electrocute it and stuff like that. Just slowly walk through it using your Gallo. If it's fully pack-a-punch, whatever, just take care of them. Once you have that done, zipline up the building that's in front of you, as you can see here, and interact with this radio, which is located on top of the roof. This will take a while. If you're interested in the story, listen to them talking. If you're not, you're doing this like multiple times, just wait until the finish, and then you'll be able to glide down to this location that they tell you to go to exfil and kill the Orda. What I recommend with the Orda is simply run around. There will be a bunch of zombies, but using the Gallo and maybe a combination of Ring of Fire, you'll be able to easily kill him and complete this Easter egg. Take your time, don't be worried. If you have stim shots, use your stim shots. If you have grappler, use your grappler, and it shouldn't be anything too difficult. If you're interested in more like how to defeat Orda fast, just look at my other videos. I will have one link down in the description if you're interested. I fully go in depth, but honestly, using the Gallo is 100% best thing to do, especially with these attachments and Ring of Fire. Easy peasy. If you've done this, if you've done all the Easter eggs, good luck, good job. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.